First at 4, Governor Whitmer issues a COVID challenge to all of us, pushing new voluntary restrictions.
It's everybody against COVID, and we have to keep going until we win.
Her message to schools, restaurants, and what's at stake for our hospitals. Ben?
Hey there, we've got storms on the radar again tonight, and some of these could be strong. We'll look at our marginal risk and the soaker for the weekend. Coming up soon.
All right, Ben, also ahead, rap music fans remembering a Grammy-nominated artist gone too soon. We have local reaction. Plus, we have tributes to Britain's Prince Philip, including the first public statement from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. All next, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Ali. First at 4, Governor Gretchen Whitmer pushing new voluntary COVID precautions, saying it's up to all of us to fight a new surge.
We all need to go above and beyond the rules we already have in place. We all have to step up our game for the next 2 weeks to bring down rising cases.
And when she says the rules already in place, she means following the state's mask mandate, limits on social gatherings, and also getting tested for the virus. Today, the governor is going further, urging all schools to pause in-person learning for 2 weeks. This as students return from spring break. She also wants to pause school sports and practices for indoor and outdoor athletics. And the governor is also asking for another pause in indoor dining, suggesting we eat outside or choose carry-out instead. So far, none of these restrictions is mandatory. Plus, the state's top doctor urging us to download the My COVID Alert app so you'll know if you're exposed to the virus. Both are saying we've reached a critical point.
And it's even more important now because our public health system is overwhelmed and cannot keep up the pace with all of our new cases that are coming in every day.
We have to do this together. Lives depend on it. We have to fight back against COVID-19 variants. We have to get vaccinated to keep you and your family safe. We're going to have some tough weeks ahead. So I'm asking everyone, please, take this seriously. This is my ask to you, the people of Michigan.
Governor Whitmer faced a flurry of questions on why she didn't make these new restrictions mandatory. Since the new surge began, the governor has insisted the spread isn't a policy problem, but a compliance problem. So does this request really make compliance any more likely? Paula Tutman is digging into that question for us. And Paula, I know getting everyone to follow COVID rules has really been a battle since the beginning.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, think about last March. So you can take us back to there. We had the mandated shutdown. There was a great deal of pushback. Michigan did lead the nation for a while in terms of low cases, but obviously the governor is taking a different tack now. For the last year, the issue has been personal behavior and responsibility, because what the governor copped to today is she and/or the health department can mandate safety measures all they want, but without compliance, willingness to comply, or partnership in enforcement to comply, fighting COVID safety compliance is killing us. And so today, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer took a new tact. She asked nicely.
And that's why I'm calling on high schools to voluntarily go remote for 2 weeks past spring break. Calling on youth sports to voluntarily suspend games and practices for 2 weeks. And I'm strongly encouraging all Michiganders to avoid dining indoors and avoid gathering with friends indoors for 2 weeks. To be very clear, these are not orders, mandates, or requirements. A year in, we all know what works, and this has to be a team effort.
School superintendents have been begging parents for weeks not to have social gatherings or do unnecessary spring break travel, with fun not being considered as necessary, in an effort to keep schools open. Our own Dr. McGee recently sounded the alarm.
Just because things are open doesn't mean you have to go if it isn't necessary. And be sensible. Protect yourself and others.
And so as the governor now asks politely and even urges safety compliance, Dr. Jason Wasserman, a medical bioethics expert at Oakland University's William Beaumont School of Medicine, says encouragement versus mandates will likely not change behavior.
The question is whether something short of a mandate will also work. And I think I'm skeptical of that.
His thought is mandates work better than counting on people to do the right thing.
We're in a situation where we can't unring the bell on the politicization of masks and social cooperation around COVID. Unfortunately, we've had people that have made things like masks these salient political symbols. And it's kind of crazy when you think about it, that someone can vest so much symbolic meaning in just wearing a mask, that they view it as a tool of oppression, and not wearing it becomes a sign of resistance and rebellion. That's not what it is. It's a simple measure to keep droplets from coming out of your mouth and getting other people sick, and it works.
Yeah, and so when you think about the people who said this was government overreach when Governor Whitmer actually put in these mandates and shut down businesses and things like that, and they said, give us an opportunity to do the right thing. Well, this is it. Here's the opportunity to do the right thing. Sandra?
All right. Thank you so much, Paula. The COVID numbers have really been sobering all week long. Today, the state reporting more than 7,800 new cases in the past 24 hours, along with an additional 26 deaths. The test positivity rate is now 18%, which is 4 times what it was back in mid-February. One hopeful note, though, Pfizer now asking the FDA to approve its vaccine for children 12 to 15 years old. This is after encouraging results in those clinical trials. Still ahead, so much reaction to sort through. New at 5, how some local schools are responding to the governor's request. Plus, we'll also hear from hospitals. Do they think the governor is going far enough? Then new at 6, we're talking about the impact on restaurants. And finally, don't forget, we've posted information on how you can get vaccinated. You can find it all on clickondetroit.com. In the first forecast here on this Friday, it's really a good news, bad news situation with some more possible storms, but not everyone will get hit. But if you do, you could see some gusty winds and also some heavy downpours as well. Let's go ahead and check in with Ben. Hey, Ben.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Storm Tracker 4 is now showing activity on the west side of Lansing, however. Notice the direction. It's moving more to the northeast, so this is likely not going to affect everybody. However, we could be seeing some development a little bit further south on this line. As of right now, just a couple lightning strikes, nothing strong or severe, and there are no watches or warnings out, nor do we expect to see any watches with this very slim chance of storms this evening. Temperatures right now are in the low 70s. We've had that pretty gusty wind, but we are in a marginal risk for severe weather. Notice that's the lowest on the scale. So again, a lot of us may get through tonight not seeing a storm at all, but everybody's going to get the rain this weekend. A soaker Saturday night into Sunday. We'll look at how much we end up with by next week in just a few minutes. Sandra?
All right, thank you, Ben. 2 critical witnesses take the stand in the Derek Chauvin murder trial as the second week now wraps up. The prosecution looking to strengthen its argument. Chauvin used excessive force when he kept his knee on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. A forensic pathologist testified Floyd died from low oxygen caused by the officer's actions. The medical examiner, Dr. Andrew Baker, performed an autopsy on Floyd and ruled his death a homicide. Today, he testified there was no previous damage to Floyd's heart.
I don't normally photograph organs that appear to be perfectly normal unless there's some reason to. I don't have a photograph of Mr. Floyd's spleen or Mr. Floyd's liver either, because those were also grossly normal. His heart was enlarged by weight, but that wouldn't really be something you could capture in a photograph unless it were so excessively enlarged that it would be obvious from the picture.
Chauvin, as you may know, is charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. The trial continues next week. Kentucky's governor signs a partial ban on no-knock warrants a year after the deadly police shooting of Breonna Taylor. She was shot multiple times in her home during a botched drug raid. It happened in March of 2020. Her death set off nationwide demonstrations and also sparked calls to ban those warrants. The law signed today is not a total ban. It still permits no-knock warrants if there is, quote, clear and convincing evidence of a violent crime. DMX, one of the biggest artists of the late 90s and early 2000s, has died at the age of 50. The rapper, whose real name is Earl Simmons, was rushed to a New York hospital last week after a reported drug overdose led to a heart attack. DMX made music history when he became the first artist to have his first 5 albums debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart. Popular Detroit radio personality Bushman reflects on the rapper's career and his legacy.
Always loved his voice. Love the music, love the energy that his music brings when you're in your car or during the summertime when you're at a barbecue or a family reunion. He's definitely going to be missed, but his music will live on. 97.9
has changed its programming to honor the late rapper through this weekend. Reaction is coming in from around the world to the death of Britain's Prince Philip. The husband of Queen Elizabeth died at the age of 99, in fact, making him the longest-serving royal spouse in British history. Devin Skillian is in the newsroom now with some of the tributes for us. Devin?
British history goes back a bit, doesn't it, Sandra? Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have recently reacted to the news, posting a message on the website of their charitable organization that reads, "Thank you for your service. You will be greatly missed." Prince Philip died this morning at Windsor Castle, and now crowds have gathered there to place flowers. The prince was the oldest ever male member of the British royal family. Born into the Greek royal family, he was exiled as a child and married Elizabeth after World War II. During his 70 years with the royal family, he was known for his charitable work and at times his controversial comments. At age 96, after more than 22,000 solo public appearances, he retired from his royal duties. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson remembered his lifetime of service and his love for the Queen.
He shaped and inspired the lives of countless young people, and at literally tens of thousands of events, he fostered their hopes and encouraged their ambitions. We remember the Duke for all of this, and above all, for his steadfast support for Her Majesty the Queen. Not just as her consort, by her side every day of her reign, but as her husband, her strength and stay of more than 70 years.
Prince Philip was recently hospitalized for weeks with a heart problem. Palace says he will lie in rest at Windsor Castle before his funeral at St. George's Chapel. And because of COVID, they're asking the public not to gather. Sandra, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Still ahead, a popular social media site trying to reassure millions of people this afternoon what it's saying about personal data being sold online, and also 2 quick steps you can take to enhance your security. Also, here's a look outside for you. Ben mentioned those isolated showers right now, and also rain and how it could affect your weekend plans as well. Your 7-day forecast just minutes away. But first, we have the results in that big labor showdown involving online retailer Amazon. News from across America is next.